Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Kay here, and today I'm here to share with you my February Design Team project for Artymaze here on YouTube and her shop on Etsy, where you can buy these wonderful digital kits very reasonably for all your crafty needs, whether it be card making, journaling. Artymaze does tend to think of everything you might need to put together whatever project comes to mind within that sort of confine, if you like. I have been doing the design team now for 3 or 4 months and have to say I am as enamoured now with the digital kits as I was when I set out. And you know, considering trends change and our needs as crafters change, this is something very special, as I'm sure some of you would agree. Now the digital kit that I've used this time is called Butterfly Bliss. Now it's not a recent one of Andrea's, but it is truly beautiful. It's roses, it's butterflies, it's lilies, it's decoration like this on the pages to give lots of scope to add things to and just make absolutely beautiful. What I decided I would do this time is make an altered or a faux file folder is what I'm calling it, but instead of it just being a single fold, I've turned it into a tri-fold, and the actual size of the card I used at the outset was 16 by almost 8.5, and that incorporates a nice platform to put the digikit papers onto, and all it was then was dividing that up into 3, adding the little tabs and so on to keep it right. You'll see the other one as we go through, and then just decorating every open area of the file folder with things that pleased me from the kit, basically. So again, the nearly 8.5, well it's yeah, nearly 8.5 by, that's very scientific, by 4 3/4 in width. So this is the front cover, as you've already seen. I've used one of the little scroll dangles that I did a video on a couple of videos back, because I just love these and I think they do add to a project and not take anything away from the overall design of paper. I've also made some little faux stamps here using a little stamp die that cuts out the base and then the shape of the stamp around it, which I felt was appropriate to put on. The papers are so beautiful, you don't need to add a whole load of lace or ribbon onto your cover to make it look really tasteful. This then is the back. It's relatively plain, purely and simply because it is the back of the file folder. I've used tea-dyed distress ink from Tim Holtz, and that is around every edge and every bit of anything that you see on the inside to keep going over it. So then you open up the front here, and already there is a flip that opens up this way to the side, and again it's got little areas for jotting if you want to. Some butterflies on the front there. I have utilised a little bit of lace down alongside the angled pocket, and that is purely because when everything comes out of it, the fact that it is a pocket could be lost if it wasn't identified in this way. You see the beautiful, beautiful design on the paper with the scroll work, the butterflies, and those gorgeous, gorgeous tea roses. I just think they are absolutely beautiful. Then it's lines down to the pocket, and in the pocket I've utilised envelopes from the pack. These all come as part of the kit. Inside I've just put a little area here, which is a little booklet, very, very plain. No pages inside, just for jottings that you don't want anyone else to see perhaps, or you know, that could act as a folder for some little keepsakes that you want to keep in a specific place. A larger envelope here, and again a little bit of jotting paper there just to put something into that envelope. But it's about the design work, always about the design work with these kits. And there you see it, there are butterflies, bingo cards, numbers, new Love Mix Sheila Atlas sound, which is clearly from some kind of hit parade, music hit parade as they used to do in the day. More butterflies on the fold aspect of the envelope, the seal, and then this beautiful little indication on the front again of money and flowers and leaves and numbers. It just all adds to the overall mix that you find within the kit. And then here is what I think is known as a library envelope, because it is open at the top, and I've just put a little bit of lace there to bring out the beautiful pink in the roses, music and lines on the back, so you can always do a little bit of jotting. It's a nice deep envelope, as you can see, and I've printed it on a really nice, I think it's 110 GSM paper, purely because I like to use this when I'm working with the DigiKits for the envelopes in the pockets. It's just so nice to have that substance and feel to the overall feel of the paper and so on. And then I put together a little book here, just ordinary pamphlet pages, pamphlet sewing to put the pages inside the little book. And because this kit has the tickets and these little banners in 2 sizes, it made sense to use the smaller ones to decorate the small pages within the book. It has all been reinforced with craft card, just to give it that little bit of extra substance so that it feels nice in the hand and feels like it's firm and strong. Again, the front of the little booklet, I've only really put the glitter on the front of this time, because everything else is just so beautiful. You really don't need to enhance it in any other way. And that then slots into that little pocket like so, and just sits there quite nicely. That flops down over, or flips down over, depending on whether you're a flipper or a flopper, and just holds everything in place when the file folder is closed. We then get to the midsection, and I have borrowed this idea from a lot of crafters that are doing it at the moment in their journals. And you just make a faux page, put the splits, the slits in, and then add things into the pocket. So I made the 4 slits for the 4 little tags here, and again they're plain on the back, so you would be able to journal on them or add photographs, the little ones, to them if you wanted. A couple more of the stamps, but again, look at the detail from the kit. It is absolutely stunning and just lends itself to so much. You really don't need to put very much more onto your project if you use this kit. It is absolutely stunning. Oops. So I'll put these back in. You have got a little room for journaling within the page if that's what you'd like to do. Oops. I need to... Some of these are wider than others, that's right. I must remember to get them into the right place because they don't fit otherwise. It's my awful cutting. It's nothing to do with the kit itself. I just don't cut necessarily straight. I have a few problems because my eyes aren't great. It's all down to the old age thing, you know. And then there's a lovely pocket down here. I've just put the little divider of lace to again break up the page so that it can be seen properly as to what area denotes whatever is going on in it. Then there is another little something here that I borrowed from Bohemiam crafting, and it is a standalone little booklet. If you like, you can call it a booklet or just a little extra something to add into your journal, allowing for the digital papers. Again, nice size, cut out nicely. They just fit across the whole of the back side of the project, which is made up in this instance with envelopes, and then you have a pocket here for putting things into, another flip up here if you wanted to attach little bits and pieces. You can see by virtue of the wonderful detail on the papers, you don't need to add a whole lot to it. It is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely. This then opens it and you've got this bizarre little window here, but it is what it is. You can cover it with something if you want to, but it is the thumb pull for the pocket, and that's just another area of prettiness there. Then you fold it all up together again, and just using an eyelet, wrap your lace around once and tie off, and it just makes a nice little token extra within the file folder base to play with and utilise as you will or won't, depending on how you feel, and it all just sits in there really nicely. And then the other side of the file folder is the final bit. It is, as I said at the outset, trifold, and even with everything that I've got in it at the moment, it still folds up quite nicely. Another of my little dangles here, the scroll dangle, with some more beautiful design paper on the other side. A pocket so that you've got that mirror image from the other side of the file folder. I've done it particularly that way because that's how it spoke to me when I looked at all the papers and decided what I wanted to do. And then in this pocket are some more of the glorious, glorious envelopes. They just are so beautiful and just lend themselves for a bit of storage. Clearly you could print out a couple of extra pages of the pages within the kit that are purely lined and turn it into little gifts or notelet gifts that you could use to send out to friends. It's just one of those things that the limitations on the kit are your own, because everything you need is there. I then made this lovely little booklet here, and what I did was printed out the front page onto vellum, just made a little notelet there, anchored it down with some ordinary glue stick, which just holds it nicely in place, but it is a very nice touch to the envelope. I've not inked around it or anything, because when it printed out that little bit darker, and I didn't want to add anything else to it to alter the colour. So that's the back side, and that's the front. Just a word of caution, if you do print anything from the kit out, because it is very ink intensive, do make sure you've got somewhere that you can let it dry fully before you start to put it into whatever project you're working on. But that is the sum total of my trifold file folder. If I go out, you can see it. It is significant in size. As I said, it's about 16 when it's opened entirely. Oh, I'm telling you stories. 15 inches wide. So each segment is 4 3/4, 5 1/4, and 4 3/4. So the outside edges are narrower clearly than the centre, but when it's all folded up together, oops, it just does. I'll stand that up a bit so it goes nicely there. Fold together like so, and whilst it is on the chunky side, it would sit on your table and not take up too much room with all the extras that I've managed to put inside. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this project. I will leave links to the Artymaze store on Etsy should you be interested in going along and getting this kit, or one of the many that are available there at great prices. And I hope I've inspired you perhaps to have a go at this yourself. Such a lovely project to do, and it can be as fulsome or as basic as you want it to be. It's as simple as that. So happy crafting, everyone. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. And I will be back again in the not too distant future with some more of my little makes. So take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.